Thank you for visiting Night News. Before we begin, remember to like, comment, and subscribe. The Bernard Cornwell books that The Last Kingdom was based on. His 11 writings are on the mythical Saxon Viking Uhtred of Bebbanburg. The name Uhtred appeared on the ancestor's family tree, but little is known about him other than the fact that he was the Lord of Bebbanburg. If the main character is primarily fake, how true is the rest of the show? We go deeply into British history to learn more. And, surprisingly, all 10 of these details are true. We have a lot of information about the West Saxon King Alfred. The television show appropriately depicted his personality and existence. The representation of Alfred's lengthy struggle with stomach and intestinal problems is really realistic, and it depicts him suffering horribly from an undetected ailment. A monk by the name of Asser, who is also portrayed in the show, wrote a lot about the king's state. As we already know, Alfred was a devoted Christian who was devoted to the church. But the holy man was no prude. In real life and on screen, Alfred had a soft spot for ladies. Several important wars are portrayed in the program. Some are a mashup of several instances, while others rather closely adhere to historical truth. The Battle of Cunwit is handled using the later method. Most of the scenes that surround this event are authentic, and Wessex was overjoyed with this unexpected Anglo-Saxon victory. The fight is depicted in the show during a different year than it was in real life, and a fictional Uhtred is given credit for killing Danish ruler Ubba. With the exception of these two discrepancies, the show does a respectable job at depicting the destruction. When the Danes arrived in Britain, they anticipated that farmers would predominate. Danish military anticipate fighting an untrained and unprepared foe. During the British and Danish's initial conflict, which the Danish easily win, Uhtred's father is slain. Then his army is routed and defeated. The majority of this statement is accurate. Despite having a military, the Anglo-Saxons were unprepared for the Danish invasion. It is even true that the Danish shield wall prevented the Anglo-Saxons from winning their original battle. The Last Kingdom depicts a number of key wars. Throughout the entire conflict, the Anglo-Saxons stopped the Danish attack on numerous occasions. Wessex was forced to pay the Danish king in order to put an end to the bloodshed. The television drama depicts the peace negotiations between King Alfred and Ubba. Viewers get a sneak peek at what might have happened during that interaction. A significant turning point in human history was the peace talks. Asser, a character on The Last Kingdom, not only existed but was also accurately portrayed. He was fairly close to the king and would eventually write the biography. His loyalty to Alfred, importance in his life, and concern for the welfare of the family are all shown throughout the series. Alfred went into great detail about his health problems in his book, Life of King Alfred. Experts claim that this was done to give the king a more sympathetic portrayal. The series has received favorable reviews that highlight the acting of the characters, the photography, the narrative, the direction, and the action scenes. On Rotten Tomatoes, Series 1 has an 87% approval rating based on reviews from 31 critics, with an average rating of 7.61. The consensus of the website's critics is that The Last Kingdom fuses beautiful cinematography and magnificent action sequences to create highly satisfying historical drama. Series 1's Metacritic rating is 78/100 based on 15 reviews. The second series had an 86% approval rating based on 7 reviews and an average rating of 0.6, which is lower than the third series' 100% approval rating based on 7 reviews and an average rating of 0.9. In his review of the pilot episode for The Guardian, Sam Wollaston advised readers not to get too close to anyone in The Last Kingdom. Charlotte Runcie gave the first episode of the show a 4 out of 5 rating in the Daily Telegraph, claiming that it had satisfyingly high production values, a bloodthirsty appetite for violence, and a proper cliffhanger. According to Wollaston and Runcie, there are parallels between The Last Kingdom and Game of Thrones. According to Common Sense Media's Carrie Krupp, who gave the series a rating of 4/5 stars, this series rivals some of the greatest and deadliest epics on TV with excellent production standards, strong storytelling, and compelling characters. Dennis Perkins of the AV Club gave The Last Kingdom's first season a B+ and said of it, BBC America's sprawling, arresting 8-part historical miniseries The Last Kingdom proves that there's room enough on television for more than one Viking invasion. Even though the plot was a little convoluted, Sean O'Grady of The Independent observed that some of the language gave the series a satisfyingly earthy quality. The Last Kingdom was directly based on fantasy dramas as well as European dramas like The Killing and Wallander, but lacked the elements that have contributed to the success of such dramas, according to the television critic for Private Eye, who was harsher. He claimed that the show demonstrated how Game of Thrones haunts the BBC and that it lacks the elements that have made such dramas successful.
I've lost my home. I've lost my name. I'm no longer Uhtred of Bebbanburg.
How has it come to this? kings are dead, we will sit on Alfred's throne.
We banished the Danes within our lifetime.
Why do you choose them? They are my people.
When we fight with one heart!
I know you will do what is right.
Stop them!
Where does it come from? This courage.